Boxing truth here. Wow. Took some time to process the thought of an actual Triple G Kell Brook fight, which has stunned the boxing world. Stunning news and a crazy announcement, a sudden turn of events that Triple G, regarded as the best middleweight in the world, is going to be fighting Kell Brook, who many consider to be the best number one welterweight in the world. And when I first heard the news, I was naturally disappointed because it wasn't a fight the fans were asking for or expecting. And also, I wanted to see the Eubank Jr. fight. And then I started to think, how is this much of a fight? But the big reason why I'm not really crazy about the fight, and it's for selfish reasons. I want to see Kell Brook do his thing in the welterweight division. I want him to fight some of the guys there, establish his name there, establish his reign there, and also prove to the world that he is truly the best welterweight in the world. By the eye test, yes, but he has yet to prove it in the ring. So I want him to do his thing, have potential big fights in that division, but he's been in the same. Ironically, he's in the same position as Golovkin. He was without any suitable opponents as options. I mean, the Jesse Vargas fight went nowhere. The numbers didn't add up. Brexit had an impact on Eddie Hearn's company. And the negotiation for the Jesse Vargas bout, Brook was unhappy. He didn't want to take less money for a guy just to come over to fight him, where he was the B-side, where Vargas wanted a fortune just to come over there to just defend his title and unify with Brook. So Brook took the biggest option he took the bigger payday. Took the biggest payday he could get. A much more riskier fight. Had to move up in 2 weight divisions. So I can't knock Brook for taking the Golovkin fight. He'll earn his career high payday for the fight, and he signed on the dotted line in 24 hours. There was no hesitancy in terms of him signing his name on the dotted line. He accepted the same deal that was presented to Eubank Jr. So all he pretty much had to do was switch his name out there and put it for Kell Brooks. Everything was the same. The numbers, the venue, all that shit. So Brook and Golovkin are practically doing the same thing. Golovkin was without any options. His team was informed by Eddie Hearn that the Eubank Jr. fight was not possible, that his senior was not going to be on board with the type of terms that he was demanding. So Golovkin took a money fight. And a debate was brought up throughout a number of videos I've seen. And the argument was, yeah, maybe it's not the fight we asked for. Maybe it's not even a competitive fight. But they would much rather see Golovkin fight Kell Brook than another Dominic Wade or another no-name middleweight, because that's what was going to happen. I said in the previous video that if the Eubank Jr. fight doesn't happen, then Golovkin is going to be stuck with nothing, no options in the middleweight division, since no one's willing to sign on the dotted line to fight him. He would have been left with another no-name middleweight opponent, perhaps a Sebastian Highland in the United States, and that would probably be the worst scenario possible for Golovkin, to fight another type of opponent like that with no name recognition. So he took a money fight. He took a business fight, as he likes to call it, since he was left no other options on the table, and he had a guy who was willing to sign on the dotted line immediately so he doesn't lose the time slot, his HBO date. So he took the money fight, a fight that's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be a great event. People are going to watch. It's going to sell. It's an interesting fight. It's a stunning, crazy fight. But the reason I don't like this fight is because Kell Brook may never be the same after a Triple G fight. His prime might be taken away with this fight, because if he loses this fight, it's going to be a damaging loss. It's not going to be a loss where he gets outboxed. He could get hurt. He's never fought a puncher like Triple G before. And Brook, through his 30 plus fights, his best win is Sean Porter. So he's fighting the most elite fighter he's ever fought, and it's 2 weight divisions above him. But yes, it is an historical type of fight. I agree with that. You know, there's been plenty of times in history where the welterweight moves up and challenges the middleweight champion. It's happened plenty of times in history. Or a celebrated fighter at 47 moves up to 160 and fight. And there's been times when welterweights have been successful. But I just don't know if Kell Brook has much of a chance in this fight. But I'll definitely watch. I'd much rather see Golovkin fight Kell Brook than another Dominic Wade, that's for sure. But it's gonna suck for Kell Brook that it's a great possibility he could never be the same after this fight. That he could lose his prime if he gets a Golovkin type beatdown in this fight. That we may never get a chance to see Kell Brook fight the welterweights, the top welterweights in that division. But it's simply a business fight for both guys. Biggest money, biggest career paydays for both. Not everybody's on board. And of course, it's boxing. Everybody's not going to be satisfied. I can't say it's a cherry pick for Golovkin. He took a money fight. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. The hell, he deserves a money fight or two in his career. He's 34 years old and he's begging for top guys to fight him, and he has to settle for a welterweight who's willing to fight him. But it's also the biggest money fight he can get on the table, since no one else is willing to fight on the dotted line. No other top middleweight. But I wish Kell Brook all the best in this fight. It'll be amazing if he would have pulled it off. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can pull it off. That's the intrigue of the bout. But I don't know. I just don't know what he can do to. He's got the speed advantage. He's gonna have to fight the perfect fight, but I just don't see it. But I don't see it. But it's gonna be something to watch if Kell Brook can pull it off. What will be one of the upsets of the bigger upsets in the history of the sport if he was to pull this off. But it was a funny thing that Bob Arum said. He shitted on this fight, of course, because he had an interest for his fighter, Jesse Vargas, to take this fight, who would have earned his career high payday had he took that fight, had that fight gotten signed. And he said that, the Brook Golovkin fight's a joke. Golovkin shouldn't be fighting a welterweight. And that pretty much Kell Brook is competing with Khan on which knockout will be prettier, so that they end up fighting each other. I thought that was pretty hilarious. You know what Bob said about the fight, and that's a very possible scenario. You know, Brook trying trying to compete with Conor, which knockout is prettier, and then they end up fighting each other. But Brook definitely made Conor eat his words. He one upped on him, showed even more balls by taking the Golovkin fight and fighting even at the full middleweight limit, not even a catchweight bout. So much respect for Brook taking the fight. He's taking the challenge of his life. Very dangerous fight with Golovkin. And Golovkin, he's in a lose-lose situation. He's gonna get criticized for taking the fight. He has to look good in the fight. If he looks bad, he'll get criticized. If he wins good, he'll get criticized. The only upside to this fight for him is that he's gonna get a career high payday, which is why he took the fight. But he's not gonna get no props. He's not gonna get no credit. And at the end of the day, he's still gonna have a resume that's gonna feature a welterweight being his most significant win of his career. Still not unable to shut up a lot of his doubters because he has yet to get that big fight where he's fighting someone his own size, obviously, but even a bigger name fighter, but at around his weight class. So Golovkin, he's in a lose-lose situation. And that's my reason. That's my beef with this fight. I don't need to see Golovkin fight welterweights, and I don't want to see. I want to see Kell Brook prove me right to see if he could dominate the welterweight division and truly prove in the ring that he's number one at 147. But because of this fight, we may not get to see that. But damn, what a shocking announcement. What a crazy ass fight. But I don't see Brook winning this one. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.